The United States has offered a $5 million, £3.8 million reward for information leading to the capture of the Irish drug trafficking gang's leaders, the Kinahans, which it compared to some of the most renowned criminal organizations in the world. The reward of up to $5 million will be given for any information that leads to the financial disruption of the narco-terrorist gang or the arrest of the Kinahan gang leaders Daniel Joseph Kinahan, 44, Christopher Kinahan Jr., 44, and Christopher Vincent Kinahan, Sr., 66. Washington also imposed sanctions on gang bosses who, according to Irish authorities, expanded their operations across Europe after distributing heroin and cocaine in Dublin in the 1990s. Ireland has fought for years to dismantle a cocaine smuggling network that started in urban Dublin 25 years ago and currently supplies much of Western Europe. The Hutches, a smaller Irish rival family, are involved in a bitter feud with the Kinahans that has resulted in at least 18 fatalities in Ireland and Spain since 2015. This is one way that the Kinahans maintain their dominance with lethal force. Yet up until this point, the Irish police have been unable to track down the Kinahan family abroad because Daniel, the gang's rumored leader, has tried to reinvent himself as a boxing promoter who is well liked by the industry. Drew Harris, the chief of police in Ireland, expressed his hope that the United Arab Emirates government would join other nations in the international campaign against the Kinahans. What was previously implied, and something that some people could choose to disregard, is now very explicit. According to Harris, who said, "This is explicit," then, to the authorities in the UAE. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control released the known addresses of the Kinahan gang's leadership in Spain, England, the Netherlands, and most recently Dubai in their dossier freezing the U.S.-controlled properties and financial assets of the Kinahan cartel. Companies being targeted include a boxing promotion company based in Dubai and a high-end beverage company managed from Spain but registered in Scotland. A new European arrest warrant for one of the 7 was also disclosed by the Irish police. In connection with the Hutch dispute, Dublin native Sean McGovern is wanted for murder. He was referred to as Daniel Kinahan's closest confidant in the U.S. sanctions dossier. McGovern was hurt during the attack by Hutch gang members using Kalashnikov assault guns on a Kinahan-sponsored boxing match in Dublin. Daniel Kinahan, the attack's primary target who had fled to Spain, was missed, leaving 2 people dead in 2015. In the months that followed, a series of Dublin shootings resulted in the deaths of more than a dozen Hutch gang members, family members, and bystanders. The United States' extraordinary action is viewed as a severe blow to the vast crime group, whose drug and weapons trafficking spread from Dublin's streets to other nations. At the news conference, Claire Cronin, the recently appointed U.S. ambassador to Ireland, stated that the country would pay up to $5 million for information that would result in the arrest of any one of the 3 Kinahans, for information that would result in the financial ruin of the Kinahan gang, or the capture and conviction of its leaders, Christy Kinahan Sr. and his sons Daniel and Christopher Jr. The U.S. offered a prize. It is thought that the group committed a variety of crimes, including more than a dozen killings, and made more than £833 million, €1 billion. One of the 3 commanders identified by U.S. investigators, Daniel Kinahan, has recently organized high-profile boxing matches. Tyson Fury, the current heavyweight champion, gave him credit for mediating a potential unification fight 2 years ago. Gregory Gatyanis, an associate director at the U.S. The Treasury Department stated at a news conference in Dublin that the Kinahan transnational criminal organization joins the ranks of Italy's Camorra, Mexico's Los Zetas, Japan's Yakuza, and Russia's thieves-in-law. The Treasury stated that Daniel Kinahan, whose brother Christopher Jr. and father Christopher Sr., the gang's founder and leader, are thought to manage day-to-day activities, were offered the £3.8 million, $5 million reward for information that resulted in their financial disruption. The United Arab Emirates, with which Ireland has no extradition agreement, is home to all 3 of them. The gang frequently uses Dubai as a hub for illegal activities, according to the U.S. Treasury. Those connected to the Kinahans in the athletic community, according to Irish Police Chief Drew Harris, need to inquire into that. A Reuters inquiry for comment received no immediate response from a Fury representative. Daniel Kinahan has no criminal history or convictions, according to his attorney, who also told the BBC last year that claims that he is a crime leader are untrue. Reuters was unable to get in touch with the Kinahan's representatives. To them, the Kinahans, I would explain that while you can flee the law, you cannot remain hidden forever. They will soon be out of money, friends, and clout, Harris said at the news conference, which was also attended by representatives of the UK's National Crime Agency, Europol, and the US Drug Enforcement Administration. The government would explore providing a financial incentive for information about the Kinahan gang, according to Irish Premier Michael Martin. Mr. Martin stated that he will talk about it with his fellow government officials and continue to monitor the initiative. He praised the US government's very big attack on the Kinahan crime gang. When asked if the Irish government would adopt a similar incentive for information that results in the capture of important gang members, Mr. Martin responded that the government want to do everything we possibly can generally to deal with criminality in our country, acknowledging the value of international cooperation and the fact that crime knows no borders. I'll talk to my government colleagues about that, and I'll keep a problem like that under review. We do have the Criminal Assets Bureau, which was a project launched after the murder of Veronica Guerin many years ago. After speaking with US President Joe Biden when in Washington, D.C. for St. Patrick's Day, Mr. Martin claimed that he did not bring up the sanctions. Leo Varadkar, the deputy leader, praised the Kinahan case's development and called it excellent news and positive. The worldwide group, he claimed, has evaded prosecution for far too long. My understanding is that it only occurred and is truly happening in large part due to the work done by the Gardaí and cooperation between the Gardaí, the FBI, and the US authorities, Mr. Varadkar said on Tuesday. Because that specific organization has evaded justice for far too long. Hopefully we'll see results. Maybe this shows that the net is closing in. Mr. Varadkar noted that while it hasn't been done in the past, he believes that providing cash incentives for information is worthy of consideration. Giving people a reward for information probably makes sense when you consider the cost that illicit businesses impose on the country. Mr. Varadkar continued. He said he hasn't given the suggestion much thought, but Justice Minister Helen McEntee might take it into consideration. By virtue of the sanctions, any funds or property that the Kinahans hold in the US or in US banks, as well as any US-owned properties, may be frozen, in a manner akin to the limitations imposed on Russian billionaires following their invasion of Ukraine. They are unable to travel on American airlines, and their credit cards may be blocked. The sanctions also apply to associates Sean McGovern, Ian Dixon, and Bernard Clancy, who are all based in Dubai, as well as John Morrissey, who resides in Spain. In addition to the 3 senior Kinahans who are now all based in the United Arab Emirates, Nero Beverages is owned by or under the direction of John Morrissey, according to the US, who has transferred a large piece of the business to Daniel Kinahan to make up for cargoes of cocaine recovered by police authorities. Also, the Americans said that Daniel Kinahan seeks to bring substantial amounts of cocaine from South America to the UK. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.